Thank you. I'd like to thank the chair and the ranking member for holding this morning's hearing, which has now gone into the afternoon, and for our witnesses for joining us here. Before this hearing, my team and I talked with some companies in my district in Northeast Ohio that work daily with the critical minerals and materials we're focusing on now to hear about some of the specific challenges they're facing. I think the most common issue that I heard about in these conversations was the short supply of graphite, as well as some others. So I'm glad that the committee is addressing the issue of critical minerals and materials today. My first question is for Mr. Horn. Mr. Horn, I understand that GreenMet looks at innovation and technology trends in this sector. How can emerging technology areas like artificial intelligence and machine learning be leveraged to enable us to strengthen our mineral security and avoid the shortages I'm hearing about from my constituents?
Thank you for the question, Congressman. I would say that AI can be implemented into all technical innovation across the entire supply chain. The projects that we're looking at with our partners to implement it span from minerals sourcing and scouting, similar to what some of the other witnesses have spoken of too. I think there's a lot that can be done there that AI can optimize. We're also looking at capabilities of automating portions of the metallurgy and separation cycles in U.S. facilities where, I honestly believe we can outcompete the Chinese on a cost basis because we can actually find ways to use implementation to outprice them on their own labor practices, which I think it sounds impossible. I think it could be done. I stand by that challenge. So I think AI and technology can be implemented in a way to give us an innovative edge over our adversaries in China and Russia, and allow us to actually produce the kinds of revenue and returns where investors and companies like myself can bring in larger commercial entities to double down and truly support the U.S. reemergence as the dominant producer in this category.
Yeah, thank you for that answer, and I could not agree more with your assessment. My next question is for any of the witnesses. In each of your opinions, does the United States have the necessary workforce needed to develop a domestic supply chain for critical materials? And if not, what are some of the hurdles that we will face and try to meet this need? For any of the witnesses, please chime in.
I'll start and say no. We don't have that right now, and I think one strategy perhaps to advance the workforce is to embed in funding opportunities, workforce development opportunities like the Justice 40 initiative. I think could be paired with apprenticeships and internships and things like that, working in these industries, so to get students excited, to get the workforce excited. But to your answer is no, I don't think we have the workforce yet.
Yes, Mr. P.
Yeah, I'll add to that. Yes, getting both university level training and trade training is really important. We've lost a lot of these skill sets as this industry has moved overseas. We have a relatively small program on university training research, and we've been able to do some work on critical minerals at universities. So it's things like that, if we can expand, and I do like the idea of how you can pair things with funding opportunities to get training for people near these projects would also be super beneficial.
Thank you.
One thing I'd add, Congressman, is I think a lot can be done from the private sector, right? I fully endorse and support academic and government efforts. However, I think there's a misunderstanding, especially with some of the younger generations, my own included, in the nature of these jobs, how high paying they can be, how essential they are to technological innovation. If it doesn't matter how old you are, but if you like an iPhone or a tablet or any forms of social media, this is critically essential for all of those.
Yeah, and I don't mean to just jump in, but look, I'm 35 years old, which means that I didn't graduate from high school too long ago, okay? And so when I was going through the high school process, everyone told me that I needed to go to college, otherwise I was never going to be successful, okay? I wanted to be a United States Marine. I ended up doing that anyway, but after I went to college, but it wasn't what I wanted to do. And we have jobs out there right now within the trade industry, which is down 2% across the board. So it doesn't surprise me to hear all of you say that we don't have the need that we have. But we have carpenters right now in the state of Ohio. We're 2,000 short to build the Intel project, which is a $1 billion project that we have in the state. If we are down 2% across the trades and we have no one to work in your industry in critical minerals and materials, which is vital to what this administration is pushing, once again, vital to what this administration is pushing in their agenda, how do you get there? And it's, I mean, make it make sense, and I don't mean to go on a rant, but it's simply not true. We have jobs out there that will pay over $100,000, steel worker, pipe fitter, carpenter, welder, to elevator technical operator. The most needed job in all of Ohio pays $160,000. I can go on, I'm over my time. But we do have a serious need within this country when it comes to technical education and reinvigorating that work ethic within our younger generations. And Mr. Horn, I agree, your generation, mine, unfortunately, you know, we need to step it up in the ones underneath us and not get indoctrinated by social media. Thank you, I yield back.